Oh my God, what is happening? Is my baby okay? Today, I'm going to talk to you about things to look out for, the danger signs that when you see in your newborn babies, you should ask yourself those questions that I just started with. Oh my God, what is happening? Is my baby okay? This is Obatanya on City Star TV. I'm your host, Nanaya, and today, as I always keep reminding you, if you haven't subscribed yet, you're taking way too long, sweetheart. Please do so right there. Hit the subscribe button. Press the notification bell as well so you don't miss other exciting episodes. Our social media handles on Facebook, on TikTok, on Instagram, on Twitter is City Star TV. So just take these few minutes to do so, and I'm right here. Okay, so like I said, when do you ask yourself those questions? Oh my God, what is happening to my baby? Now, I'm going to teach you 5 danger signs. When you see these things manifest in your baby, you absolutely know that you need to rush. You don't need to walk. You don't need to slow down. You need to absolutely rush to the hospital and find out what is happening to your baby. Now, are you as a parent of a newborn? Babies, they tend to cry and they tend to run a temperature. So if you remember per our previous episodes, I have advice on certain things that you need to have at home as a newborn mother, and one of those things was a thermometer to be taking the temperature and checking the temperature of your babies as often as you can. So there's a required temperature for babies. So one of the key things is when your baby has a fever so high that you test your baby's fever and it basically burns your palm. I mean, you can feel the heat radiating off your baby. Okay, at this point, there's no cold compress that you can basically use to help your baby reduce the temperature. You just absolutely need to rush to the hospital because you don't know why. It could be a whole lot of reasons, but high fever, it's a symptom of a lot of infections, a lot of diseases, being bacterial or viral. There are lots of diseases out there that some of the starting symptoms are high fever. So when you see that in your baby, just run off to the hospital. Now, at the second one, I'm going to tell you that when you see in your baby, you just run. You don't wait. Just take your baby to the hospital. It's redness in the eyes. I mean, your baby is sleeping or your baby is awake, and then you see that your baby's eyes are turning red, almost blood-like. It's like somebody punched your baby in the eye, and the baby's eyes are going red. Okay, I don't know what you're doing at home whilst you're seeing that. I don't even know why you be at home. You see that as a newborn parent and you will still be at home and be wondering, oh my God, what is happening? No way. You see that, and the first thing you need to do is run to the nearest hospital with your baby, because when certain infections get that bad, that is where you're seeing signs like that at any stages of certain diseases. That is when you see the redness in the eye. So sometimes when these things happen, it means your baby is at the end of towards the end of a very bad disease, and those symptoms are beginning to show. So you need to run as hell, as fast as possible, to the nearest hospital and have your baby checked out. So we've talked about high temperature and redness in the eye. Now, another thing you need to really look out for is red rashes. Not just any rashes. We have these heat rashes and we have these ringworms and all that. These are red like. So they form on your baby's arms, on your baby's back, on their chest. They are most scary when they begin to form around your baby's face, especially their lips and around their eyes. This is very, very, very dangerous. I cannot emphasize on the very enough. You see red rashes around your baby, don't treat it. There is not enough antibacterial cream, antifungal creams out there that can treat this. Just take your baby to the hospital. When you get there, the dermatologist will take a sample where they will have it tested and screened, and they will know whatever infection or whatever bacterial or fungal infection that your baby has. or it could even be viral. You would never know. If you stay home and you decide that you're going to handle it yourself, you cannot. You see these things, you rush your baby to the hospital. The fourth one is labored breathing. Your baby is basically taking gaps. And this is not because your baby has the flu or what we call catarrh or nose blockage or anything. Your baby is literally finding it impossible to breathe. And especially if your baby is not asthmatic, then you need to be worried. If your baby is not asthmatic, but your baby has labored breathing, you need to be worried because your baby is literally gasping for air. So I don't think at this point there is anything you as a mother can do, or you even need to sit around waiting or trying to figure out what to do. This is the point where you run. We've talked about high temperature, we've talked about redness in the eye, red rashes, and we are talking about labored breathing now. Please do not sit around the house. Oh my god, my baby can't breathe. What do I do? What you do is run like hell to the hospital. Get there, get a scream on top of your lungs. Attract the attention of all the doctors and the nurses in the emergency room and have your baby looked at immediately. Another one I'm going to talk about is seizure. Now, per our previous discussion, I think we've had this talk on our previous episode where we talked about what to do if, and I told you what to do if your baby had a seizure. Now, if you haven't watched any of our what to do if episode, you should go and watch that right now. But after your baby's seizure is done, where you held your baby in the positions like I advised in that previous episode, please go and watch it. Then you take your baby to the hospital because you wouldn't have no idea what caused that seizure. At that moment, what you did was hold your baby in place, keep your baby safe so your baby didn't fall off or injure themselves during the seizure. But once the seizure is done, and your baby, whether your baby faints or regains consciousness, you just run to the hospital. That's it. There's nothing you can do to stop the seizure from happening again. You don't even know if it will happen again. So go to the hospital, let them screen your baby, and then find out. Sometimes we parents we play our own parts, whether we are being complicit or aware of what we're doing. We play our own roles that put our babies in danger, and then we wait till the very last minute to seek medical attention. I am telling you today, dear viewers, dear newborn mothers, I love you. I love your babies. When you see these signs, run. These are the signs you run to the hospital when you see in your babies. So let's do a recap. We talked about high temperature. We talked about redness in the eye. We talked about red rashes, labored breathing, seizures. So when you see these things in your baby, I'm begging you, run to the hospital. So another educative episode of Abatanya has come to an end, and I love and appreciate you all for sticking with us every single time. We appreciate you. City Star TV appreciates you. We know that you have subscribed to our YouTube channel. If you haven't, just do so. You subscribe to our YouTube channel, you have hit the notification bell so you also enjoy our other episodes. We know that you have followed us on all our social media handles on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. Like you know, it's City Star TV. I'm your host, Nanaya, and I'll be here same time next week.